Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach,
And I'm Pepper.
and today we're reacting to the latest Stonemaier game, Apiary, which will be releasing, I believe it was October 4th. But they kind of usually announce their games about a month ahead of time, and then kind of give some time for, I think they do like design diary stuff and have people, um, content creators kind of play it, review it, preview it type thing, and then kind of have their order, a month later about. Roughly is what they
Yep.
typically do.
Yep.
So it's no different with this game. But yeah, right off the bat, I think we had kind of predicted maybe some insect game
Yep.
just because the code name, I believe this was code name Hive. So that kind of makes you think of bees, and it ended up being a bee themed game, but also bees in space.
Bees in space, conquering the galaxy. I
As
believe,
bees do.
as bees do. But yeah, I believe they kind of have evolved and taken over the Earth as the dominant species, long after humans have kind of fallen away, and now they are conquering other lands.
Yes. So I think they became the dominant species, gained intelligence. Now they're doing kind of some of these things. I think it was based off. Now I don't remember. He said in the live chat today, so you can definitely go check out that video where he talks about some things. If you have any questions on it, I think there were quite a few questions on it in there. You can probably learn a little bit more. But I think it was based on some. It's not solely based on some book, but got some inspiration from some book. I don't remember what it was called. I feel like it was Children in Time or something like that. Something like that. Some people might know what it is. Let us know in the comments below if you remember
Yeah.
or know what that is. But yeah, I would say right off the bat, the color looks, or the cover looks pretty good. I think. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about the font of Apiary.
Yeah, the font kind of reminds me of Hive. I'm guessing that's just kind of a feel, a vibe that you get and go for when you have this theme for a game. But it did remind me of that. I really do like the art for the cover, and I would say the only thing that I'm maybe mixed on is that font. It's an interesting font, and I think I could like it in the right situation, but I don't know if it
Yeah.
100% works here. It's not bad here, but it's just slightly off, I think.
Yeah, I feel like if it with a different actual picture in the background, it might go with it better. Like Hive, I think if it is, I don't remember if it looks similar to that or not, but Hive has more of an abstract look.
Yeah.
So I think
This
that
is
works
very
better, whereas this
realistic,
looks
detailed.
right.
Yeah.
Where then I don't know. They kind of feel like they clash a little bit, but maybe that's just personal preference. I still really love the rest of the cover. So
Yeah, I don't know if
the only thing
it
that sticks
feels
out.
like a Stonemaier game either, but I
That's
think
true.
we've mentioned kind of in the past, you mostly, of this Stonemaier feel, the classic Stonemaier games, the viticulture and Scythe, and how recent releases haven't been able to capture that
Yeah.
it factor feel for you.
Yeah, the Tapestry kind of felt like it
Yeah.
too, which is a little more recent. But
Yeah.
some of the more recent ones have kind of felt a little bit different, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. They just feel kind of different than what they did. And I feel like this cover with maybe a different font for the writing might have captured kind of that older school feel. I think it'd be right on the edge, but. So it's a far distant future where humans no longer inhabit Earth. Their cause of disappearance, or perhaps their demise, is unknown, but their absence left a void ready to be filled by another sentient species. So the honeybees are evolving, and it gives a little bit more details on the game here. It does say if you enjoy, it has some games that if you enjoy them, that it thinks you'll enjoy this as well. And the ones they list are Teotihuacan, Honeybuzz, Zulkin, and or Euphoria, which I find a little bit interesting, um, just because I feel like those are very, very different games, and I feel like you could easily like some and not like the others.
Yeah, because I like Honeybuzz, Euphoria, and Teotihuacan. I'm not the biggest fan of Zulkin. Yeah, it's interesting that two of them are kind of in that T series of games with Zulkin and Teotihuacan. Honeybuzz, initially I'm just like, okay, is that just because it's
The
bee
theme.
themed or not? And Euphoria, is that just the closest Stonemaier game to it? I'm
Hmm.
not
It's got
sure.
kind of the dice bumping. I guess
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
biggest thing.
that's true. It does have that dice bumping. Yeah, so I could see that comparison.
Hmm. And also, anyone that's interested, you can just get notified for kind of the launch that'll happen in October 4th. And then Stonemaier will donate to some of these different organizations. It sounds like you don't even have to necessarily buy the game or anything like that. So, if you're interested in even just having them support some of these organizations, it's definitely something to potentially look at, possibly signing up for. But otherwise, we've got some pictures here of the game itself.
Now you can click on them to make them bigger.
Oh, that's true. So we've got some tiles, and I think this might have been there may have been a spoiler
that was
picture he had sent like a night ahead of time. I think this was what he had sent, so kind of had an idea that it looked kind of space themey, and then also possibly insects. So there was still a lot of possible speculation of what exactly it was going to be. But yeah, I do like that they went with a colorful version of space as opposed to just
Yeah.
dark blues and purples. There are definitely the dark blues and purples on here, as you can see, the
Yep.
typical kind of space colors, but they're also using kind of some of the brighter, lighter colors. And I feel like more recently the space games have tended to go that way. I think
Yeah.
they've probably found out that people don't necessarily like just dark, dark, dark.
Yeah, I'm guessing they kind
Uh,
of heard that complaint in some of the games, which are great games, but just maybe not the most colorful. And
mhm.
I think people have been trying to make an effort to bring some life and color into the games, and I think this one does a good job of it, especially with those resources that are not only
Mhm.
colorful but going to be wooden pieces on there that will really pop off the board.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like that they kind of look like they're kind of unique shapes.
Yep.
I always like wooden pieces in games, and then the meat, well, kind of meeples because it's worker placement. But they've got different numbers, and I think this is where maybe the Teotihuacan comes into play. Is you're kind of increasing those numbers as they're being bumped throughout the game to go from 1 to 4. So you'll just be kind of turning those. You won't actually be rolling them, unfortunately, but you probably could roll them if you want to, uh, just for the fun of it. But I do really like the look of those. I think they have a unique look to them.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
And I like the little bit of wash they put on there. That makes me think of
Yeah.
Planet Unknown.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that might be a little divisive sometimes because I think for Planet Unknown some people didn't really like that. So, but I think Jamie had said how that actually made it a lot clearer on
The
seeing
number?
the numbers.
Yeah, yeah, I could see if that background was not as dark, how that could be hard.
Yeah, especially depending on your lighting
Oh,
conditions,
yep.
could
Yep.
definitely change it up. Um, Looks like this is the solo items, so there'll be a solo mode for people that enjoy those, and I'm sure that'll be coming from the Automa factory.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
usually who they work with, and yeah, some more pictures of the board here. You got a lot of good looking stuff here, and I feel like without seeing the rest of the cover, I
Yeah,
don't mind the
that
font
the
as
font
much.
it in this picture that looks like it totally fits,
It
and
does.
it looks really nice.
Hmm. But yeah, when it's the whole cover, it looks, I don't know, it looks different. But and then you got the queen bee there that's going to be moving around. So yeah, let's see some more tiles, stacks of the tiles with the color on them. But yeah, and it looks like there's a kind of teaser trailer video you can take a look at. But yeah, I think initial thoughts. We kind of looked at the rule book a little bit. I would say I'm not. It's not the easiest for me personally to be able to read a rule book and tell 100% how the game is
Yeah, if you
played.
can't really have the physical components and
Mhm.
really see it on the board and kind of work through the things that you're reading, it's a little more difficult. And I
Mhm.
wouldn't say that this game is one that's super easy to, in your head, really grasp.
Right. Because yeah, but I think the kind of the main mechanisms they listed were worker placement, engine building, and tile placement. I think were kind of the main ones, and I can definitely see the tile placement and worker placement. Not 100% sure of where the engine building comes in, but I think that'll probably be your some of the tile placement you're putting out, like farm type areas that are producing. Yep. So I'm guessing it'll have something to do with that.
I would think so.
Yep. Where it'll feel like you're kind of trying to work to get those producing things for you. Here's your player boards, and I believe there's, to start off with, there's 5 of these different mats, and I think there's like 20 different of these 3-piece starting tiles. So there's a little bit of variability right off the bat. I think this sounds like a game I could definitely like. I will say I'm not the biggest fan of Euphoria. I like it enough, but I do really, really like the bumping mechanism that's used in that, used in Charterstone, and then other games as well. So I love this thing, kind of the bumping in this one where it's increasing, so you kind of want to get bumped. I'm wondering if this will feel kind of a little bit tighter where you're bumping a lot more often, just so that you're actually increasing those, or if it's not happening a ton. I can't really tell just from looking at it.
You can bump yourself as well in this one, so there is that choice that you can make, and there are just a few types of actions, so I think that the bumping will be pretty frequent in this one, I would hope, because I as well really love that, especially if you are gaining positive things from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the rule book doesn't seem too long, but I think without actually playing it, some of the... So your B is pretty much going to be increasing, and kind of based on what they are, you can get some possible bonuses and stuff.
Yep.
It goes to level 4, and then I was going to say hibernate. It's not hibernate, is it?
I think it is.
Is it hibernate?
Hibernate.
It hibernates.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the max that it can get. It's kind of like in Teotihuacan where they ascend, I think is what it's called, after they get to 6, I think. So there are some things where it has like these strength 4 worker benefits, which I think without actually playing it makes it hard to visualize. Like, okay, so all the other times it'll be this, but then if it's specifically a strength 4, just kind of it's a little harder to imagine. But overall, it looks like it should be decently simple to play once you kind of are actually in the process of playing it and taking the different actions. I think that sounds like it should be simple enough.
Yeah, I think so. But I do hope, like we said, that there is a lot of that bumping and a lot of use of 4-value workers, because I really love that they do have those bonuses, like for some of the tiles that you can place and some of the actions themselves, which can give you just extra points or anything bonus for the 4-level worker. I really do hope that's used a lot, because that is the most intriguing part of the game, is the upgrading of workers. For me personally, otherwise it feels just kind of like a basic worker placement game. So
right.
I do hope it delivers on that and can really feel different and unique, because a lot of the things, even the bumping of workers and upgrading of workers, is stuff that we have seen before, but I mean, nowadays there's so many games that we've played that it's going to be hard to find something that's just totally brand new to us.
Right, exactly. And especially if it's something that is fun and unique like that, people are going to take that and kind of reinvent it in different ways in different games. So, yeah, you're going to see it more and more. So it's like, well, now you got to take that and step it up to the next level. And I can't think specifically on any that, bump a worker and that makes them kind of stronger. I don't know if that's been done before. So I'm very, very hopeful that this will be a good one. But I'm definitely excited about it a little bit more now, because I am a huge worker placement fan, just in general, regardless of bumping workers or not.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm just hoping that we will be getting this one, I'm sure. So there's no question that we did it was a year ago now. We did a whole month of Stone Timber last year, where we put out a ton of Stonemaier videos. So we're big Stonemaier fans, so we'll definitely be getting this. I'm hopeful that it'll be kind of another hit for them, another really good worker placement game that gives a little bit of a different feel. But
and what was the price point going to be for this?
I think Jamie had kind of said, like, for champions it'd be between 50 and 60. Otherwise, I think he said, and don't quote me on this, he said it in his video, so you can, if you want to go watch that, he'll say it. But I think then he said like 70 or 80 possibly or 60 or 70. something like somewhere in that range. He said it would be for kind of just normal retail or something. So we'll see. We'll see. That seems a little high, but
there are a lot of really nice components.
There are some nice components
with those
in here.
meeples.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm not sure what those cost to produce, but I would say that's kind of the nicest things in the game. But otherwise, what other components you got? I mean,
a lot of wooden tokens.
Got wooden tokens. That's true.
Those resources.
Yeah, there's about 100 wooden tokens in there.
But other than that,
so
I mean,
nice.
it is just a bunch of tiles. That I mean, a lot of games have those, and hopefully they're good quality cardboard. And
yeah, that's true.
But yeah, it does feel, because this does not feel like a grand epic game like something like Scythe or something like Tapestry, where they just have these huge, massive productions. This seems a little more in line with Honey Buzz, where it's something smaller but really nice looking as well, but still a little more affordable. But this is sounding like it's going to be a bit more expensive than something like Honey Buzz. So that was a little shocking for me to hear. I'm just like, that's more than I would have thought, but still not quite outrageous.
Right. Yeah. Board games have been going up in prices recently, so it's not like insane. I would be really shocked if he was saying like retail would be like 90 or 100, because that would really shock me. So, but I mean that's getting close to that. So I mean it is a little surprising, and that I don't know. In a way, it could be eye-opening too, because it's like, well, if that's the case, then I mean you can look forward to other games probably being that much, and it just gets to be pretty expensive. So. But yeah, I'm hoping that this one will be a great production, and that we'll like it a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise, those are kind of our initial impressions after learning of the game today. Anything else?
We're going to have to redo that Stone Temper.
We're going to have to
go
redo
through all the games again, rank them all, rank the covers again.
Oh boy, that's going to be a lot of ranking.
Got a few more games now.
We do. So yeah, we'll definitely be re-ranking them at some point. But maybe we'll wait one more year. One more year and get a couple more. I think they're supposed to have 2 more main game releases next year. So hopefully by then we'll have a few 4 more to kind of punch into places. And maybe our thoughts have changed on certain games. Maybe they'll be in different orders.
Maybe.
So but yeah, otherwise we hope to see you on our other videos. And as always, don't forget to
keep on nibbling
on our content.